We begin with new developments tonight in a story that has captured the nation's attention. A woman in a vegetative state at a Valley healthcare facility gives birth, but who raped her is still a mystery.
Phoenix police now confirming they've obtained DNA samples from people who work at Hacienda Healthcare. But while they wait for those samples to be tested, they're also asking for the public's help to find the suspect. It's a story we've been following since news broke that the woman has given birth. Our I-Team has been digging into how this could have happened. Tonight, Team 12's Nicole Zymak begins our team coverage with the latest from police. And Nicole, how many people have they tested so far?
Yeah, Caribe, at this point, Phoenix police isn't giving us an exact number for the amount of tests that they have done. They're saying that it is a significant amount of test swabs, and they're saying also that they're casting a wide net and not ruling anybody. Now, if somebody were to refuse to take this test, which they have the option to do, police can then go and get a court order requiring that person to submit a DNA swab based on reasonable cause. Now, we're also learning today that police first responded to Hacienda Healthcare Saturday, December 29th, just before 4 p.m. because they had an infant who had coded. Now that means that baby either had trouble breathing or was unconscious after it was delivered. Now both mom and baby have been taken to a hospital, which they are still at recovering. And there remain many questions surrounding this case, but perhaps one of the biggest is it truly possible that employees at Hacienda Healthcare didn't know this woman was pregnant?
I'm led to believe that it was a surprise when the baby was born to the people that were working at that time. As far as did anyone know about it, I can't answer that question.
Now, once again, there are still many questions surrounding this case. Phoenix police telling us they expect this to be a very long investigation. Meanwhile, the good news is police are telling us this baby has a loving family to go to. We're live in Phoenix. Nicole Zymak, 12 News.
All right, Nicole, thanks. The 12 News.